It won't go on YouTube. Okay. So, have you pressed record, Adrian?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Joy Marketplace demo for VCSE organisations. I'm really happy to introduce Jo Hopper today. She's going to go through a demo with you. One thing that I do need to make you aware of is that today's demo is going on YouTube and we are recording. So if you don't want to be in the shot, please keep your camera off and your mic off. So, Jo, please start.
Thank you, Claire. Thanks, everybody. So what I'm going to do is I will do a quick presentation that just gives you a bit of an idea about what Joy is in the bigger picture, and the marketplace and how it works and why it's so important. And then I will do a little bit of a live demo of the marketplace as well, so you can kind of get a feel for it and how it works in the real world. So I am just going to share my screen. Lovely. Okay. So Joy is social prescribing software. So we exist to add 10 years life expectancy through social prescribing. We do our small part in that by providing cutting edge software to the social prescribing sector. Our software covers about 8 million patients across the UK in about 1,500 different organisations, ranging from GP surgeries through to ICBs. We'll do a little bit of an overview through this presentation of the marketplace, and then I will give you a live demo to show you how to add and edit services, and then we can answer any questions. So the Joy platform supports social prescribing efforts across primary care. I like to think of Joy as kind of a single platform with different windows into it, and depending what type of user you are, where you sit as a stakeholder, you will access some or one of these in order to engage with the Joy system. So the first part is the Joy GP app, and this is embedded within clinical systems in GP practices and enables GP practice staff to quickly and easily refer into different external commission services. And that's most often their social prescribing and health and wellbeing teams that sit sort of arm's length to the GP practices. And their referrals will go into the case management system, which is a system that enables social prescribers and health and wellbeing coaches to manage caseloads of patients that go across multiple surgeries and multiple clinical systems. So they're just having to only look in one place rather than at multiple different clinical systems in order to support their patients. And then that all feeds into the marketplace, which is the bit we're going to be focusing on today. So the marketplace is a public-facing website, so anybody in the world can go to services.thejoyapp.com and can look at all the wonderful community and voluntary sector organisations that are promoting their services on the website. So effectively, it's a really accessible directory of services. There's also some clever little bits of AI and things like that behind, which help us to keep the listings for services up to date, make sure the most up-to-date information is always what's being promoted. And then all of that feeds into our data capture. And so because all of this lovely activity is happening across the Joy platform, we're able to gather lots of great data so that we can measure the impact that social prescribing teams and voluntary sector organisations are having on people's well-being in their communities. We're also able to do some clever things like identify gaps in provision in specific localities and things like that. So Joy simplifies basically the way that people and communities access local groups and services. So you have referrers, so that could be residents, social prescribers, GPs, and others, and they are able, using Joy, to quickly and easily refer into community organisations like charities, faith groups, housing and employment support, and our data can show really positive outcomes through that, and share that data with you as service providers. So on a day-to-day basis, how it works, people will go on to the website, which is services.thejoyapp.com, and they will find a service. So they have a live view of local services. You can add your service to this, and then there's powerful search features to help people find the right services to suit their needs. They can either make a referral, that's themselves, they can self-refer if that's allowed by the service. Professionals can refer patients and clients into your services, and they can also signpost to a service. So if a referral isn't what's required, or if the service doesn't allow direct referrals, they can use the listing to signpost information about the service to the end user. So let's have a look at a live demo of the marketplace. I'm going to just swap screens that I'm sharing. Bear with 1 second. And I will go into a live demo of the Joy Marketplace. Right. So this is the Joy Marketplace. So as you can see, we're just at services.thejoyapp.com. There are some important accessibility features. So if English isn't your first language, you can use the Google Translate option at the top left of the screen. And then towards the bottom left, there are some more accessibility options for the site as well. So all that somebody would do if they were looking for a service is come in here, pop in a keyword. So that could be housing or debt or gardening group or mum's club. Pop in their location and then hit the search button. And what will come up is services local to them that meet their search criteria there. So if I just pop in Derby, for example, and I won't bother looking for anything specific, it will then bring up services within the Derby area, and I can just browse those and see what might be of interest to me, what I might want to access. Service listings look like this. So each service has a kind of a front page card like this in the search results, and then you can click details to go into more information about that service. And it will give, the service can add as much information as they want in here. We give service statistics. So when people are referred through, we can start to say how quickly they respond, which is really helpful for users, particularly if they're self-referring, to just have a bit of an expectation about how quickly someone might get back to them. Services can place themselves under categories, which is then searchable and will filter results by, and the same with additional needs as well. So if a service does provide for vision impairment or English being a second language, that type of thing, they can make that clear, and then people can filter their search results using those criterias. And then over always on the right-hand side of the listing are the options for how to contact or refer into this service. So with this one, there's just an inquiry form. There isn't a direct referral pathway, or you can signpost to the service, and you can also drop them a message, and we can see here exactly where the service is if people want to actually just go and pop in and say hello. So how would I create a service on Joy? So all I need to do is click the Add a New Service button. And if I've never been here before, I can say I need to create a new account. And then I would run through and fill out all this lovely information and create myself an account. And then I would be able to create a listing for my service underneath that account. What I'm going to do is just swap screens to show you what it looks like when you are logged in. Stop sharing that and pop into, and I can then show you how to create a new listing. So once you've created an account, over to the top right of the screen, you'll see a little grey circle with your initial in it. So you know you're logged in. And once you're logged in, you can add a new service. And you'll want to say that you're adding it for your organisation. And then you would say whether that service is paid or free. If you say it's paid, there's a few other sort of options. We don't tend to get many paid services on here because they tend to be from community groups and voluntary sector organisations. And then you'd give your listing a title, the name of your service. So that might be, coffee morning at the library, or it might be, men in sheds, or whatever it is. And then you can pop in as much information as you want here in the description. So anything that you think would be helpful for somebody trying to understand what exactly it is that you're offering. So yeah, what you do, what you offer. Maybe if it is sort of session based, then you can give the dates and times and locations of the different sessions that you run, that type of thing. You can pop in a web link for your service. So if you have a web link, it's really great if you pop it in here, because one of the things that we do is when you add your service, we take a quick snapshot of the web page at that point, and then we check that regularly. And if we see any changes from the original snapshot, then we'll just drop you an email saying we've noticed a change on your website. Can you just confirm that all the details for your listing on Joy are still correct? So it's just a little prompt for you to help you to keep the listing on Joy up to date. You don't have to add a web link. So if you are a very small group and you don't have a web page, then you don't have to add anything in here. You can pop in your service criteria. So if you only support people, say, over 18 with no complex mental health needs or something like that, you can pop that in there. This is where you'd select the categories by which people can filter their search results. You can choose more than one of these. So if your service covers more than one thing, tick as many as you like. The same with the additional needs section. So if you do cater for any of these, definitely tick those. You can set a waiting list. So if you know that anybody who is referred into or refers themselves into you isn't likely to hear from you for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's worth putting that in there. It makes it really visible for people and sets their expectations on response times. You can pop in keywords. So these are really important to make these are what we look at when somebody types in a keyword in the search bar. So if they pop a keyword in there, this is what we look at. We look at your service listing title and the keywords that you've added. So thinking about what somebody might search for if they're looking for a service like yours. You must add in a location. We're all about showing people what's local and accessible to them. You can add images. The more images, the better. If you've got images that kind of help to give a feel of the flavour of the service that you offer, can be a really great way of engaging people with your service. And then we come down to how people can refer or contact you. So by default, we always recommend the Joy Instant Referral. All that means is that you are able to create a tailored referral form within Joy. So it shows exactly what you want it to show, and that will then be emailed to you any time that somebody refers themselves or somebody else into you. So it will be sent to the email address linked to your listing, but it means that all of that information will be exactly what you want, and it's really, really quick for people to do that from within the system. If you already have your own referral form that you're very happy with and it's on a web page, you can choose this option and pop the link to that referral form page in there. Or you can display custom instructions. So that could be, please contact us through our Facebook page or something like that. Or you can say, we don't allow direct referrals. This is a signpost only service. This is just a listing to promote that we're here, but we're not able to process direct referrals into our service. You can then pop in any contact details that people can use to reach out to you. So that might be, again, a form on your website, or it might be an email address or a phone number, or all three. And then we come down to the visibility of your listing. So most of our listings are public. This means that if somebody searches on Joy, your listing will be one of the results that comes up if it's relevant to the search that the user has put in. If you choose to make your service unlisted, then this means it won't show up in any search results. So nobody will be able to see it unless you send them the direct link, URL link to that specific page. So it's effectively hidden unless you've shared the direct link with someone. And then the last bit is you can also add a secondary email address for those referral emails to go through to. You don't need to do that, but if, maybe if you have the main listing is attached to an admin email address, and there's also, say, somebody specific who also processes those referrals, you could add their email address in here, and they would then get a copy of all of those referral emails sent to them. And then you just click post listing. Which I'm not going to do now because I don't want to create work for my team. Once you press post listing, that then comes through to us at Joy. We check and approve every single listing that goes onto the website. We want to make sure that we retain the integrity of the information that we're sharing. And so we will check all of them. We aim to approve within 48 hours of them reaching us. And once that listing is approved, then it's out there and people can start to find and engage with your service. There are a few other bits that I'll just show you quickly whilst we're here. So once you've created an account, you are able to create multiple listings under your account, and then you can see all your listings in a list here and edit and amend them as things change. You are also able to add additional people from your team to your account so that they can access this information too. And then you're also able to access your dashboard, which is where we're able to share a bit of data with you about how your service is engaged with via Joy. So we can show you the number of referrals made to your service through the Joy system, what your acceptance rates are, what your attendance rates are with those people that are referred. And we also are able to share some information with you about clients' responses to engaging with your service, so around how much they feel their wellbeing was improved by engaging with your service. We can share with you some of the reasons why people have referred themselves. If you've selected that as an option on your referral form, we're able to capture that data and share it with you. What are the key needs people are engaging with you about? And then we can also share with you the source of the referrals coming through to you. So are they self-referrals from just members of the public? Are they coming through from social prescribing teams? Or are they coming direct from GP practices? We're able to share that information with you. Outbound referrals probably aren't too relevant for you. I think that's it. Yeah. Cool. I am going to stop sharing my screen so we can move on to the Q&A section.
Thank you so much, Jo. Adrian, do you want to press stop? Have you pressed stop?